there is limited time on his clock, but he's shown that his moves, they're great, and even under the duress of time travel, he has proven in his bullet chess prowess that he can handle it.
And this is the first time we've got the base time as 10 minutes in the Champions Chess Tour. What do you think about those dynamics? Starting with 6 minutes and 40 seconds, has Denis Lazavik, is this bit too low? The games are off. What do you think about 6 minutes, 40 seconds before we get into the opening?
I think we're going to find out, Tanya. This is one of the first times this season we've seen this type of dynamic. And 6 minutes, it might not sound like much, but the top players, they play bullet games all the time. Denis Lazavik's so experienced. And look at this central mess. All the tension there, temporarily, all the knights were staring off at each other in the middle of the board. Suddenly they all disappear in the blink of an eye. And still a 3.5 minute time advantage for Vasily Graf. So this is a branch of the English opening. Earlier in their clashes in regular time, we saw the Spanish, the Berlin, lots of really cagey, slow, stodgy stuff. Now, Vasily Graf going direct, this central strategy, and he's got to hope that he catches Lazavik off guard. Robert, who are you favouring? It's early days, but who do you think is going to be happy with the outcome of the opening?
Well, the evaluation bar, the engine to the left-hand side of the board is happy with Black's play, but I think that Maxime, he should also be happy because this isn't a symmetrical pawn structure. White has two central pawns, the D and the E pawns. Black has only one, and I do love Denis's last move, Queen F6. He does not want to give White the entire center. If there is a trade on d4, then it's 2 versus 0 in the center, but Black has an extra 2 pawns on the queen side. So this is what we're going to be talking about. That's the dynamics of this position, is that the pawn structure is not the same for each side, so they're playing for different ideas.
And before the game started, we were talking about their matchup in Toronto, which was a while back, but perhaps Maxime is also thinking about what happened yesterday. Denis Lazavik took down Anish Giri in an Armageddon in a very convincing manner, gave no chances at all. And I think if my memory serves me right, Denis was Black in that game. It ended in a draw and Denis took the match. He made it look easy, and right now, I do like the fact that the pieces, the minor pieces, it's all symmetrical right now. Yes, the pawn structure, it does provide some play for Maxime, but to me, it looks like it's not going to be enough. It's just a position that's easy to play. And with Black, you just need a draw to win the Armageddon.
And as you can see that experience, you can tell that he's played a bunch of Armageddons, just the way he's handling it. He's still far into the game. We're at move 20 now. Bishops disappear as well. He's getting closer to safety. And okay, he makes this controversial decision, though, that Robert highlighted earlier. He's allowing Vasily Graf to just take this pawn off the board, and I think correctly taking with the pawn towards the center. Yes, Black's pieces are active, the queen, the rook on the open file. The white bishop is a bit stuck on the e3 square, but ultimately now, even if the queens disappear, rooks disappear, bishops off the board, there is this imbalance long term. So I like what Denis is doing, especially this last move, throwing pawns down the board now. Super quick play, but Vasily Graf, he's got to be banking on his chances long term. And as long as he keeps that 2.5 minute time advantage, I think it might come down to a scramble. As you said, Tanya, a draw is enough for Denis, but still a while to go before that. Queen's coming off the board as well. Wow, surprising decision, Robert.
I love the way that both of these two are playing, because queen b5 had a hidden threat that if the black queen didn't escape, there was a bishop g5 with a skewer. So now the queens are off the board. That should make it easier for white to push the pawns. If this e2 pawn were on e4, then we'd start feeling a little bit more confident about white's chances. But look at Denis. His last move, rook to e7, it's clear. He wants to double rooks and prevent white from pushing forward in the center. But now he's also pressing forward himself on the king side. These are players who are playing on both sides of the board. They're not just tunneled in the center. I think that black is stable. The question now becomes, can white make any inroads? Tanya, do you see anything here that would lead you to believe that white can, in fact, make progress?
I don't know about white's progress, but the last few moves by Denis, Robert, to me, it seems he's the one who's looking for progress. He's expanded on the king side. He wants to make the move h5 to h4 next. Try and open up the h line, looking for chances of the rook infiltrating with rook h1, maybe trading off more pieces on the board. In general, when it's the Armageddon, when you're fighting for a draw, when you're low on the clock, with black having managed to trade off so many pieces, I think so far it's been success for Denis Lazavik.
Been a Laza victory this last few moves, at least in terms of the psychological battle. Black's king as well has a clear path towards the center, just blocked off, and Wow, Denis creating threats along the back rank, but watch out for White's threat. White is now threatening in the near future to take this pawn on b6 and undermine the black bishop on d6, hence why it's protected. And yeah, I was thinking about what pieces need to disappear. I think White wouldn't mind the bishops disappearing, being traded off, and Black would love the rooks to disappear because then the b pawn will run. So still very, very tense, both sides with a lot to play for. But I'm looking at the clock, still 5 minutes. Denis is so speedy. Just another level, so quick here. He's making Armageddon look like a classical game. He's just enjoying this moment.
And he's playing against Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, the 2021 Bulbless champion, one of the biggest speed chess specialists of modern chess. And he just keeps the game going and the clock under control. I have to ask Robert a question here. Is f5 ever a move you want to make in these positions to try to get rid of as many pawns on the board?
It absolutely is a move that will be justified and is a good decision from a practical standpoint. Does it create some risk? I think the answer is also yes. So f5, I love it. I think the engine will approve. But for Denis Lazavik, does he need to do anything? Unlike spell chess, he can just sit here and just kind of hang out, right? You know, he doesn't have to use freeze. He doesn't have to do anything special. But he actually did just move his bishop in the center. And that move, it changed the evaluation a little bit, but Black is no worse. All he needs is a draw. He's piling up on the d5 pawn. Actually, what can you do as White? Isn't that pawn just dropping?
This might spell the end. Talking of spells, it might spell the end for Vachier-Lagrave in the winner's bracket. He's trying to desperately trade off bishops now. But Denis, I think you're sport for choice. Just get rid of this bishop. Take this pawn off the board. If you want to be flashy, you could have taken the pawn as well. That would have led some tactics. Now, all he needs to do, just trade off one set of rooks. Even if Black's two queenside pawns disappear, with the absence of both sets of rooks, if it's just one set left, easy draw. And why actually worry about that when you can go for the counterattack? Black's a whole pawn up, and he's going to put his rook on f7, defend everything. I think Vachier-Lagrave is the one fighting for the draw here. He's having to take risks. And look at the march of these two connected passes. These two pawns together will win the game for Lazavik now, or at least will get him the desired result.
Maxime Vachier-Lagrave is down a pawn. He's just got a 1 minute lead on the clock. Flagging is nowhere in the cards right now. Denis Lazavik in driver's seat. He made it look easy against Anish Giri. He's making it look easy against Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. How does the kid do it, Robert?
He's a fantastic player. He's just extremely underrated. And the top players, they don't take him lightly. We just saw him beat Hikaru and Anish, and he is not losing this game to Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. All Denis needs is a draw. He may, in fact, win this game as Maxime has to go all out. This question mark, I don't care about it. I think we can all agree to disagree with the game review saying that, yeah, maybe it's not the objective best move, but all Black needs is a draw. So to answer your question, Tanya, is that Denis is underrated. He's a great bullet player. He's an exceptional speed chess player, and he can do it in rapid, even in the World Rapid Championships. He's shown that. So credit to him. He is just an amazing, amazing player at just 17.
So impressive.
I wanted to say, he has a superpower and he knows how to use it. He has a low rating, and this is for everyone out there at home. If you're playing someone higher rated, you can just play solid. You can bully them and use it against them, and then we see resignation. Denis wins it and gets past Maxime Vachier-Lagrave.
17-year-old Denis Lazavik, he gets the job done in the Armageddon against Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, takes the dub, stays in the winner's bracket, goes through to the winner's semi-final. He relegated Hikaru Nakamura, he relegated Anish Giri, and now he puts Maxime Vachier-Lagrave in the loser's bracket. Incredible chess by Denis. He really is a menace to the top guys.